Hey everybody, welcome to another video on the 67 Stang channel. So last we left off, I believe, we had patched the torque box over here on the driver's side. Got that welded in, cleaned it up. I actually, after the video was done, I actually went back, did a little bit more cleanup, filled in a little bit of some weld there, got it, I think, looking a lot better. But we'll get down there and see it here in just a second. So what are we going to do now in this video? What kind of things are we going to be working on with this? Well, my plan is to clean up the underside, begin seam sealing it. So where we welded the floor pans in a while back now, I originally had intended to clean up the bottom. Kind of thought, well, no one's really going to see it. The more weld there, the better, and all that. So that's probably true, but as I was under there working on the torque box, I could see it and it started bothering me. And I hadn't seam sealed it yet, so I figured, what the heck, let's go ahead and clean it up a little bit, get some of those welds ground down. The other thing is the drain holes that are supposed to be there in the floorboard. I got new covers for them from CJ Pony Parts, and the screws that came with the kit, or with the pieces, are a lot longer than the original ones. So they stick down a good bit. So I may even cut those off some or grind them down, because they're kind of long and stick down there. So let's get down, take a look at what I intend to do. I'm just going to show you the driver's side. The passenger side is about the same, so I'm not going to do both of them. But let's take a look at what we got and go from there. So let's go ahead and get under the car. Okay, so we're under the car. You can see the patch here that we put in. I ground down. I think it looks a whole lot better than it did, but I went further. I went ahead, and this edge where we'd put that patch in earlier, before I did the floorboards, I actually cleaned this edge a good bit, welded, make sure that right here we have a good solid connection into there. So that's looking pretty good with that. So what I'm talking about, so first off, here's those screws for this drain plug. So this is the drain plug, supposed to be in the floorboard. You see how far these screws stick down? It's a good bit further than the original, so I'm not sure, but I may cut those off there. And then I've got some welds back here where the original floor pan, where I stitched it together with the new floor pan that I think I want to clean up there, and then it gets back under there on the tunnel. You can kind of see some of that on the passenger side over there, I think, but I want to really get up and clean up some of that just to make it pretty, and at least here on the side where we can all see it. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and then it'll be time to seam seal. So I'll run some seam sealer here along this floor support here. You can see that's already sealed up here where this drain is. You can see that. But then, of course, up along this edge here, I want to seam seal. You can kind of see some of it that came through that I did from the top side to squirt stuff down in there. And I did do a little from underneath, but I want to pretty that up, make sure that's good and sealed in there. And then, like I said, do the same thing over there. So I'm going to go ahead and start on this side. The other thing I'm going to do is I've got some paint from Eastwood that is got a nozzle on it. So that nozzle, it's like a flex nozzle similar to what you have like on WD-40, right? A straw type thing. It's a little bit more than that, but I'll put that back in here so I can actually get paint on the inside and seal this piece up on the inside really well too, to make sure we don't get rust back in on that. So that's something else I'll be doing. So I'm gonna get onto that, and in a future thing, hopefully maybe by next weekend, see that thing, the differential back there? I don't think the gear oil in that has ever been changed. That may be the original gear oil in there. So we're going to try to fix that too, and there goes the FedEx truck. So we'll do that in a later video fairly soon. But anyway, let's get it cleaning this all up. Okay, so got most of it ground down, I think. Ready to start seam sealing it. So I've got two options here. I've got a caulk-like seam sealer from Eastwood that I'm probably going to start with. I also have some of that brush-on seam sealer that I used internally that I could also put on under here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that Eastwood seam sealer out, get it set up in the caulking gun, and then we'll get back under the car and make that happen. Okay. There we go, I think. Ooh. There. I think got what her set. We'll see how long that takes. Okay, so while we're waiting for that to dry, the seam sealer, I checked the container. It said wait to paint until thoroughly dry. No time estimate or whatnot, so I'm going to guess it's probably going to take at least a couple hours. I'll check the brush on the seam sealer because it should be similar. But we're going to wait for that to dry. So while that's drying, I think I'm going to go ahead and try to put the instrument cluster back in the car and get that buttoned up. And then maybe seats could happen. We'll see. We're going to go ahead and get started on that while that stuff is drying. Let's get at it. Okay, so we can get the instrument cluster in here. First things I'm going to do is get this tape that I put on the speedometer off its cable, get it out of there. Tape this up pretty dang good. That one's going to be a pain. I bet I have to take this off to get that speedometer cable in there. It's always been a pain, to be honest with you, but we'll deal with that later. Okay, let's see here. I got this. Needs to go in here. Okay. Plugged in where they're supposed to be. And that. Let's see, this is the single one, so it goes in like so, pink to pink, and the connector slides into there. Make sure it's good locked in. So there's that one. That means this one here goes in like so. Get those connectors in, and then lastly, well, not lastly, but before I deal with the speedo cable, we've got the wiper connection, which goes in like okay, so that's pushed in. All that connected. Get the speedo in there. I think, if I remember correctly, I have to go through here to get it easily connected because it's a fairly short cable. Let's see here. Get like so. Okay. So before I get it all screwed in, but there we go, that's getting in there, right? Looks good to see that in there again, doesn't it? It does to me, faux show. I don't think I can come up underneath there, but we'll see. Let's see if we'll go up underneath to get the speedometer connected. Let's see. Oh, sorry for the loud noise. The kids are out playing. It is almost 60 degrees here in the Atlanta area, so kids are taking advantage of it, and I don't blame them, to have a little fun outside in January. So Okay, so we ran a little glitch in putting the instrument cluster back in. Remember this little sucker that we just replaced? Well, trying to put it in, this wire came disconnected, which is no big deal, but this whole thing came off, just popped off. So I am concerned. I did try to solder it, but when I try, and I think, I could be wrong, so when I try, let's see how I can do this. Maybe like this, let's see. Here, two, can I do this one-handed? I'm doing it one-handed. Okay, there is no connectivity there, which I think there should be. So, I don't know. I'm gonna have to consult some people, but I don't see any reason in putting this back in. Oops, touching the wrong thing. I did get connectivity there for a second. Okay, I'm not sure what that was, unless it was getting connectivity. Yep. Anyway, so we're gonna get back with National Parts Depot and see if we can't get a new one, because that should not just pop off like that. And I said, I'm not sure my solder job is very good. I'm not the greatest solderer in the world. So yeah, we'll check on that. But what I did do is go ahead and get the seats put in. I figured, what the heck, I shouldn't hopefully be crawling too much under the dash now, which is the only reason I hadn't put them in. So it's kind of nice to, you know, climb in your car, sit down in your seat. That's a pretty nice feeling, I think. So, yep, these seats are trash. I have some I'm actually looking at for made by TMI that are, let's see, they're not stock replacements. They're very similar. So what they're Sport 2, I think, call them. So they've got a bit more bolstering on the sides here, and then on the back here they bolstered that area up. I think they're a little higher too, you know, a little bit higher, not a whole lot, but more importantly, they lock. These don't lock. There is nothing that locks them in place, short of a body sitting there. And of course, in an accident, you know, you're going to get slung. The seat goes forward, and then you're going to pound your head into here or here, which is why they put in these padded sections for safety. But it would be much better if the seat just locked and didn't sling you forward. So that kind of limits the effectiveness of the seatbelt. So I'm going to go with that. What I'm thinking, and I'd like y'all's input on this, is I like the pony interior. The pony interior that came with the 65 and 66 Mustangs, I really like it. That had the, let's see, the embossed, you know, ponies right in here somewhere. And so I'm thinking going with the pony interior on the two front seats. Again, I know it's not correct for the year of the car, but then they're not correct seats for the car. So, right, who cares? And then, because I live in Georgia, and I can tell you from personal experience, this black vinyl in the summer will burn your thighs right the frack off. It will take skin. It ain't no funny. So I used to have to put like towels or something over this, or have some seat cover or whatever. So what I'm thinking is going back with they have dual tones, so it would be black here and then a white insert here in the middle, which I think would add a good bit of color, because everything else is black. You know, headliner's black and dash is black and all. So I think that splash of white would look really cool in here. So yeah, let me know what you think with that. So what are we going to go do next? Well, I think the sealant is dry now. So it's been a couple hours, so it's time to paint. So I've got these things. So here is my normal roller bar chassis paint that I've been using throughout the project. I really like this. It's been great to work with. And it's a combination primer paint as well, so I don't have to worry about priming and everything. So got 2 cans of it. And then this is the stuff from Eastwood, right? So got the interior frame coating. So this has that, you can kind of see that nozzle right down there that goes in, and you stick it up into an area. So I'm going to stick that up into that torque box and try to spray it down good to keep where I put that patch in from rusting as well. So I'm going to do that first. And then I might actually go up into the floor pans, or not the floor pans, where the seat riser was, and hit it too, because obviously, you know, well, especially on the passenger side where I didn't replace that one, I just repaired it, so might hit it, that one too. I painted the driver's side one because I completely replaced all, so I'm not worried about it, but it might be good for the passenger side. So anyway, we're going to get this together and paint it up. Okay, so we've got everything painted up under here and sealed up, so I am overall very happy with the results of what we have done. Hard to see back here. Let's see if I can get the light back here some more. Probably too much light there. So got all of this done and painted. I'm going to wait to paint the passenger side more when I can get over there, and I need to do some cleaning and some grease removal and stuff over there first. But this, it's still got, I say painted, it's already got, still has some of the, you can see the red oxide primer still over there. So not overly concerned about that. Got the bare metal taken care of. But anyway, so we'll see how that Eastwood spray thing works. I don't, so with that, I'm going to sit here in my Mustang, drink a nice Coke, because again, I'm from Atlanta and we are required by law to drink these. Enjoy my progress for the day, and look forward to seeing y'all in the next video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. We're at over 120 something subscribers, so I think it's pretty good for a channel we're not actively promoting. So, you know, I'm excited, guys. We've made some progress. A little disappointed about the instrument cluster, but we'll get there. So with that, guys, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.